Hello everybody, Lego Boy D3 here, and today I'm going to show you how to take apart and reassemble your 4x4 Rubik's Cube. And this is the Rubik's brand cube, and so you're going to want to keep that in mind. If you have another type of 4x4 cube, then I may have a tutorial for that out now, but if you can't find it, then just go and look for somebody else's tutorial. So, first, you're going to want to turn this just like that, and so this piece lines up over there. And just kind of misalign that layer, stick your finger in, and it will kind of pop out like that. And then you can usually just like twist it maybe a little bit and just pop it out. Sometimes you may want to just use a screwdriver. That may be a bit easier, and then stick it under there and pop it out. The hard thing to do is get it out once you've popped it, because this little lip on the piece hooks underneath that centerpiece. But anyway, you're just going to want to take out the corner piece and then kind of take out all the pieces. It may be a bit difficult to take out these couple first pieces. You may even want to like do the same thing with the first edge pieces, but once you get those, then you can just misalign and just basically pull all these pieces out. And just as a note, this also applies to any 4x4s with a ball core, so you may want to actually take the part of it like this and see if your core has a ball in the middle, which, well, is a ball. And then, yeah, you'll be able to use this core. So, as you can see, just kind of like shake it now. Make sure you don't lose any pieces. But then, once you get all of these pieces out, you'll have a bunch of these center pieces attached to the core, and you can kind of just take them out, or if you have one that won't come out, then just line it up with one of these slots in the center, in one of these cross sections, and you can just take them out. And so you're going to want to get all of those pieces out of your core, and then you're going to want to sort all the pieces, because I find in these cubes it's easier just to put it together solved, just because you don't have to deal with the parities and stuff. And so you'll sort all of those pieces, and I will see you in a second. Okay, so once you have all of these pieces sorted out, I'm actually going to change my view a little bit so I have room to put it together. So you're going to want to get your core, and you're going to get one color. I'll just start with the white because it's easiest, and you get all 4 of those pieces, and then you just stick it in like this into where the little notch is, and then just stick all 4 of them in, and just make sure they don't come out, and then just put them all together so they're all straight, and just set it down on a table like that. And really helped you having a flat surface for this. And now you're gonna find 2 edge pieces that have white on it and are the same edge piece. And so you're going to want to put them together like this. Well, now correctly. But if it's like this, where there's a gap in between these, then just do it like that. And then these pieces will be together. And then you're just going to want to, as you can see right down there, I'll get a close-up. You're going to want to stick this little notch into where that centerpiece is, just like that and that. And so it shouldn't come off when you just pull it. And let me get my camera angle back. And so now you're going to find a corner that has those two colors on it. In my case, I'll just use this one because it has white and blue, and then this color, orange. And then, so we're going to have to turn it like this. And then we have, put that just right there, snap it on, kind of, and then you'll find the piece that has white and orange in this case. So this and this, line them up so they're together like that. Put white down, and again just kind of snap them in. And then you're going to turn it a bit more, and then find a corner piece that has like two colors on it, and put it in there, and then just repeat that again, and keep doing that until you have just one more row, and then you will find the last two corners. In my case, they're these two, and just want to line them up on here, and then you'll have a spot for the two edges. Line them up and pop them in. Pop and pop. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do, you can actually spin this ball in freely in here, sort of. May catch, but so you're going to want to find two of these centerpieces, which are a color, like this one, for example, not yellow. Then you're just going to want to stick them in this notch, like that, like you did it earlier. And then stick the other one in, and just slide them together like that. And so they're locked onto those edge pieces. And so then you're going to want to find another two centers, and I like to just put them on from the top if it's easier for me. And just do that. Sometimes it'll get stuck a little bit, but just wiggle them around and they'll get in there. And so now you're going to want to find the edge piece that goes into there. In my case, it's this one. And there'll actually be two edge pieces that looks like they'll go in there, but you can see on this one, if we try and put it in, it doesn't go in because this one is reversed and it has that lip on the top, and that lip needs to be on the bottom, so it'll be like that. And so now we are going to turn it again, put two centers in. I like to do it from the top again, and again do the same thing, pretty easy. And then when you come to the last two, just find the last two centers, and just as you expect, put the edge pieces in. And you want to make sure that you snap those pieces in good, so they're not sticking out. And this is the wrong piece again, so we find the other one, which is right here, and pop that piece in. And so now, once you get the first two layers, basically just do the same thing for the next one, but, so yeah. You're going to want to find two centers, and I'm going to want to just slide those on there. Do the same thing with this. Find the edge piece. That's not it. Here it is. And then it may be a bit more difficult because you can't slide them over, but you can just put those in. And then you will keep doing that. put all the pieces in just like you did last time. And yeah, that's basically all you do. And if you put a piece in like that, and then there's no space to put another piece in, like you can't get that in, then you just want to flip it over into the little space that has like little notch. Like, I don't know if you can see that, but right there, yeah, the little notch right there. Slide the first one into there, and the next one next to it. And put in the edge piece, centers. Yep, then you just put all these pieces in, make sure you do it right, and then you'll just have the last layer to assemble. Let me get those pieces and those pieces. Last piece will be a bit tricky, but you'll get it. Okay, now the last layer is pretty tricky to do. I may actually want to get a better view on this. So let me just... whoop. There we go. And so you're going to want to put... well, this is how I like to do it. First, just put the 4 centers in. And just slide them out. Like that. And then you're going to want to find 2 matching edge pieces, any edge pieces at all, and these 2 from that example, and line them up with the side. Then you're going to want to line up these center pieces, and then just snap that piece into there. And then you're going to want to do the same thing with this one. And yeah. You're going to want to find one of the corners and put that piece in. And then you're going to want to line up. This may be a bit tricky. And actually, if you still have one that doesn't have the notch, you want to put that one in the notch in. That's what may have been a bit confusing, but you'll figure it out. And then you find the 2 orange pieces. And in my case, I'm going to put this one in first. And then this one will be right here. Then the rest of the assembly process is pretty straightforward and easy. Just find another corner and then get the 2 edges, and then you basically just continue doing that until you have it completely assembled. And like you were saying here, I actually didn't notice that. I was putting the wrong piece in, and so if it's really hard to put one in, then you may want to check again and make sure you are putting in the right piece. And so, again, the last pieces should be pretty straightforward. Just put them in. There. Put that piece in. That. And then the last piece, you're just going to want to snap in. You may want to misalign that. Just snap it in. And you have taken apart and reassembled your 4x4 Rubik's Cube. Bye!